What's up, YouTube? This is Boston Chris. Welcome to my channel, Boston Chris Comics. So, I hope everyone's enjoying their weekend. Got a nice long weekend for Memorial Day, which is really cool. So today I went to my local shop, or one of the locations of my local shop that I don't normally go to all that often, just because it's a little bit out of the way, and decided to do some dollar bin diving. You know, figured, why not check on the dollar bin, see what they got. I will say that my shop, so the shop that I normally go to is called New England Comics, and depending on the location, you know, sometimes they have decent dollar bins, sometimes they don't. The one that I normally go to kind of has, you know, a little bit of a mixed bag. There's a lot of times they'll end up having, you know, sales, so they'll end up getting a little bit more stuff in, and then they'll, you know, end up doing pretty well from time to time. But this one tends to have a bunch of dollar bins, you know, all throughout the store, so I figured I'd go ahead and just check it out. So here's some of the stuff I picked up, or that I rescued from the dollar bin. And the reason why I call it that, just because there's a group that I'm in on Facebook that's called Dollar Bin Rescues, where people will go ahead and post comics that they got from, you know, usually shops and dollar bins or flea markets or 50-cent bins or whatever. So here's my pickups from today. So just to start this off, so we have Green Lantern number 52. So this is right when Kyle Rayner takes over for Hal Jordan and becomes the new Green Lantern. Pretty cool. And he battles Mongul right away, which is pretty cool and poetic, I guess, just because Mongul's the reason why Hal Jordan kind of like lost his way and everything after Mongul destroyed Coast City, and you know, the issues that came through, which is 48 and 49, and then 50 is where you know, the Ring kind of goes and looks for someone new. But continuing on, we have Wolverine number 55. So this is just to continue my Wolverine run. I'm trying to collect issues 1 through 100. I have a good amount of those books so far. There are, I think, probably like about 30 or so that I don't have from the first 100. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to collect those up. Next we have Bram Stoker's Dracula. So this is pretty cool. I have one of these. I think I have issues 1 and 2, and I have one that's in the poly bag. This one actually being outside of the bag is really good because this, I don't know if you guys can see, but Mike Mignola, or Mignola, however you want to say it, worked on this. So the guy that, you know, Hellboy's creator, worked on this book, and he's going to be at Boston Fan Expo this year, so I'm going to see if I can get him to sign that, just because, you know, that way I don't have to open the one that's in the poly. Next we have Warlock and the Infinity Watch number 25. This is actually is a pretty cool, like I was flipping through this as we were reading, so it's got the, you know, 90s die cast, you know, embossed cover there. Thor's kind of embossed, but as I was flipping through it, it's pretty cool because you see that there's a pretty good battle between Thanos and Odin. Odin actually ends up being pretty badass in this. He ends up taking on Thanos and Silver Surfer at the same time, and they're having a lot of trouble with him, so it's pretty cool. Next we have G.I. Joe number 43, so this continues on with my G.I. Joe, wow, Transformers number 43. I'm a little tired, sorry. This continues on with my Transformers run, so really happy to find that. When I go into the shops and I start trying to check out for Transformers, I swear to God, it just seems like every time I look for Transformers, whether it's online, whether it's through eBay, whether it's through a bunch of different other sites, everybody has the same books, and the shops that have them in the bins have the same books I already have. So I don't know what's up with that. It's pretty crazy, but it just seems like you know, to find issues from, I would say, late 20s through the 60s and 70s is tough, man. Just everybody has the same exact issues. I don't know why, but whatever. I'm just gonna, like, it just feels like you know, maybe it's just because it's a smaller run of comics is Transformers is only 80 books, whereas G.I. Joe was 155 books. And so maybe it's just, you know, something where, I don't know, just like that, you know, I would say like 28 through 79 are just tough to find. I mean, and of course the ending 70, the later issues make sense just because, you know, they're a lower print run. But yeah, for whatever, if you ever, I'll tell you right now, if you ever need a copy of anything within the first, I would say, the first 10, and then it's like number 15, 25, 24, and 32, 11. I mean, you can just find those in just everywhere. But if you want issue, let's say, issue number 52, you can find 50 a lot. But if you want like issue number, let's say like 23 or something like that, it's gonna be like, I can't find it. It's just me. But anyway, next we have Infinity War number 5. Really cool cover on this one. This is Doom and Kang are trying to battle Magus, and Magus doesn't have the Infinity Gauntlet in this issue, but this was so this ends up being the follow-up to Infinity Gauntlet, where basically like they throw a ton of the Marvel universe into the comic just because you know, they didn't allow to have all the X-Men in the first Infinity Gauntlet, only Wolverine and Cyclops. And so like the second time around they were just like, yeah, put everybody. So I don't know. Anyway, follow that up with issue number 6. So in this one he does have the Infinity Gauntlet, which is cool. And then funny thing too is like if you know Magus from the from his first appearance in Strange Tales, he has this really big afro. And this one, they go for like, you know, just this, you know, tied back little ponytail look. So that was kind of a funny one. Like if you get the chance to get the Strange Tales episode, not Strange Tales, I'm sorry, the Warlock issues. So it's just like, you know, Warlock, I would say is like 10 through 15. You get to see like, you know, Magus as he normally is, and like he looks so different from his counterpart. You know, in this story, but I mean, I don't know, I guess the 90s needed a new look. But anyway, continuing on, we have Transformers issue number 39, so pretty cool. Let's see, then we have What If, this is issue number 51. So what if Captain America, what if Punisher became the Captain America? Which actually ended up happening for a little bit after Captain America ended up getting killed after the Civil War. Next we have New Mutants. This is issue number 69. You know, they had a bunch of New Mutants there. I just didn't. As I was going through, I started to realize that like I was gonna end up picking up way too many books. So I was like, I gotta put some of this stuff back. Warlock and the Infinity Watch. This is issue number 8. If I'm not mistaken, this was one of the True Believers that was picked up recently. So that's why I picked it up, because it was $1, and I was just like, you know what? At least I don't have to spend crazy money on it. Oh, there we go. All right, because it came out of focus when I was flashing the books. Next we have Wolverine. This is issue number 84. So I don't know for sure. I think this is the first appearance of LCD and Albert. These two little androids that like are just out to try to kill Wolverine. I think LCD and Albert are both loaded up with explosives, so when they find Wolverine, they're gonna blow up and kill him, supposedly. Well, that's what they think, at least. Next we have What If, this is issue number 64, What If Iron Man Sold Out? And you get the ominous picture of Magneto back there, so wonder what happens when he sells out. Does Magneto get pissed off and come after him? We'll have to find out. Next we have Punisher number 93. This is The Killing Streaks. So this is just a later issue. I don't think it's anything like low print or anything like that. Just you know, looked pretty cool, so I picked it up. Next we have Uncanny X-Men number 316. You get the nice little cover there, 90s cover with the little holographic, the Phalanx Covenant. 317 is actually the first appearance of Blink. I've never actually read this, so I'm not sure if there's any sort of, first appearance or anything like that with this. I know that the Phalanx is kind of like this. If you ever read New Mutants, so Warlock from from New Mutants is what's considered a Phalanx, and like basically they're like these techno, like symbiotic creatures where they'll just kind of take over your body and kind of I guess meld technology to you and kind of take over you. But I have to read that and check it out and see what's going on in there. Then we have one that everybody's seen before, and it's just I for $1 I can't say no. And it's funny because usually I end up getting one of these at Free Comic Book Day, but this year they didn't have any. But I guess they had moved into the dollar bins. But the Jim Lee X-Men #1, Volume 2, amazing, like definitely amazing. Not the gatefold, but it's just one of the ones that kind of goes along with that connecting cover. So I want to say this is about my 4th or 5th copy of it, not counting the one that I bought like way back in the day. But next we have What If the Watcher Saved the Universe? So another book for my What If run, pretty cool there. Then we have Uncanny X-Men. This is number 239. So Aboard the Mutant Train, more of that Genosha story, where I guess the Genoshans are kind of trying to take the mutants prisoners. Next we have Avengers number 346. So this actually caught a little bit of attention right around the time that Captain Marvel was coming out. People were speculating that people in this book are going to end up being in that story or something like that. So this saw a little jump, and people were kind of into it. Not sure if people are still into it, but hey, Next we have Annihilation Prologue. This is issue number 1. So pretty cool cover there. And then we have another one here that this one kind of bugs me because I reached out to the Key Collector app, the people that run that that app, and I tried to point out to them that when it comes to this, that this issue follows the actual true issue that it's in, that basically would end up being the first time that you would have characters in this state. But they kind of just, I guess, they looked at it where it's just because it takes place in a what if, it's not really continuity, but, then again, and this and that. So, speaking of none other than Quasar number 30. And the reason why this book has any kind of significance is because of Thor right there. So you have Thor with the Venom symbiote on him. And so basically what happens is it says, wandering the worlds of what if. So it almost confirms right in the title right there that this image came from What If comic. This came from volume number 2, What If number 4, What If the symbiote suit possessed Peter Parker. And so in this issue, what happens is the symbiote basically sucks the life force out of Peter Parker and basically leaves him as an old man with white hair and kills him. And then the symbiote starts hopping onto other people trying to find power. So it hops onto the Hulk and it hops onto Thor. And that's the first time you have Venomized characters. The first time that you have, a Venomized version of Thor, a Venomized version of Hulk. And it takes place in that issue. So, this, though, I guess gets considered to be main continuity for whatever reason, even though, it's just really, all it is just a scan of the image that's in What If number 4. So, anyway, that's my little rant on that. It kind of bugged me a little bit, but that's alright. I mean, I don't need credit for it. I'm not like, I have to have the credit. But I just think that, really, when it comes down to it, if if you're gonna put that type of stuff out there, and try to be like, I mean, just because, you get the issue with, like, let's put it like this: Hulk 180 or Hulk 181. What's Wolverine's first appearance? I mean, and then what warrants being called the first appearance? Because Wolverine has dialogue, and you kind of see him in Hulk 180, and then but 181 is what people will say. Well, that's just it. He's on the cover. He's in the book. That's his first appearance. What was it? Uncanny X-Men 266 or Uncanny X-Men Annual number 14. What's Gambit's first appearance? Gambit appears in multiple panels in the Annual, and that predates 266, and he has dialogue, but 266 ends up being considered his first appearance. So I don't know. I figured that this ends up being the same situation where it's just like, even though that one has Venomized characters, it does come off as, well, that's a what if. It's not a real continuity. Meanwhile, this is at least a cover for a book that's considered to be in continuity, and whatever. Anyway, moving on. We have another book that actually is kind of funny because I was complaining earlier about it, but actually was able to find one in the bins, which is pretty cool, which is Transformers number 70, and a newsstand on top of that, which is really cool. So definitely happy about that. Nice late issue Transformers. Then we have X Factor number 71. So this is the first appearance of the Havoc-led team. So the first team appearance of the new X Factor. Pretty cool. And then next we have Secret Wars number 5, which is the first appearance of Boom Boom, who appeared in X-Force. So that's pretty cool. Kind of an obscure, but definitely, cool first appearance. I can't go wrong with that. Next up, we have Fantastic Four number 348, the first appearance of the new Fantastic Four. Really cool lineup in this, too. Hulk, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, and, Wolverine. That's a badass team right there, but really cool. And this one, this one cover's done by Odd Adams. So I already have one of these, but for $1, again, you can't go wrong. So I'm going to try to get this signed at Boston Fan Expo by him as well. Next, or the next two, the same book, I found two of them, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and have them. So we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 1, and two of them. The first appearance in regular comics of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, pretty cool. And then my find of all finds, the best book that I found in my searches today, and I was really excited as soon as I saw it. And it was funny because this basically, so finding this, I'd gone through a couple of the books, so they had a bunch of bins on the table, and then there was a bunch on the floor, and for whatever reason I was like, let me just take what's on the floor. And so this actually was what started me to dive deep into the boxes, just because I was just like, no way. And as I was flipping through, I saw it, and the logo is what got me, just because the color on this logo is distinct every single time. So if you're flipping through and you see this coloration on the logo, definitely look at it, because it's a pretty significant issue, and that is G.I. Joe number 155. So this is the final issue of G.I. Joe, and as I said, I was flipping through, and it has this, this orange to yellow gradient there, and that's what made me know. As soon as I saw it, I was like, no fucking way. Yeah, I said that out loud. And then I was just like, alright, cool. So then I just kept diving through, went through, Jesus, I had to have gone through, I think, close to 20 boxes today. And there was a bunch of stuff that I had just, if I had gone ahead and gotten everything I had seen, just to kind of either fill in runs or just different books, I was like, maybe I take a chance on this and see what this is about and this and that. I probably would have spent $100 today. So I just went ahead and just, controlled myself, got the books I wanted, and then, left some behind so that maybe another day I can go ahead and get some stuff. But, yeah, man, that was such a fun time, and really just overall, just a good time. And I look at it where it's just like, last week had a really, really, really awesome time, going to the yard sale and the library sale. And then now I, just dollar bin diving in my shop, just, lazy Saturday, and here we go. So 2 weeks in a row, did pretty well for myself. So I'm really happy with that. But I'm going to get going, so I want to thank everybody for watching. If you didn't see my my video on the library sale, go back and check that out. Library and yard sale. A lot of good stuff there. And so that's going to be it for me. I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy yourself. Have some fun barbecues. Just relax. Enjoy the long weekend. I'm out. So everybody have a great night. Thank you for watching. I'm out of here. See ya.